Joining us now, Eric Metaxas, a New York Times best-selling author and the host of The Eric Metaxas Show, a nationally syndicated radio program. Welcome to EWTN News Nightly.
Thanks for having me.
You were quite a firecracker today on stage.
You think so?
I do. Tell me what that was like, talking to all of those pro-life people.
It was exhilarating. First of all, the people are estimating that there were something like 800,000 people there. People who've been coming back year after year after year have said that the numbers seem to be growing. This year, maybe because Vice President Pence was there.
Maybe.
It was huge, and most of them are very young.
Right.
So I think the sense of hope was palpable.
Let's listen to something that you said that really caught my attention today at the speech.
And in the words of Reagan, to paraphrase the great pro-life president, let me say to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Roberts, tear down this law.
I watched that and I was smiling as you said it. When did that come to you?
I don't know. As I was waking up, I don't know. Or maybe as I was sleeping.
Is it really viable? How realistic is overturning Roe v. Wade?
Listen, overturning Roe v. Wade, people have made such a big deal of that.
Right.
That's the least of this issue. It shouldn't be difficult to overturn it. It's a horrible law. It's rickety. All you need to do is blow on it, and it's a horrible law in terms of law, in terms of finding something that isn't there. I don't think that's a big deal. You get one more pro-life justice, and it goes away. The question is popular opinion, the culture. Will the facts of science that increasingly show that this is a person, will those have a sway in the culture? They're already having a sway. We're getting less abortions all the time. It's a dramatic shift that is happening right now.
It's true, and you know who plays a big part of this is the media, the mainstream media. And
Correct.
You called them out today in your speech.
Yes, I did.
What did you say and why?
I would say, well, because first of all, here you have a guy named Donald Trump, the President of the United States, who has been famously pro-abortion for decades. Suddenly, he says he's pro-life. People scoff. They don't believe it. Well, guess what? It's obvious that he is, because he has been more staunchly pro-life in 1 week than any president ever has been. It's been astounding. And he called out ABC News. They were not talking about this. They were talking about the Women's March, so-called.
He did an
interview with David Muir, ABC News, and he said, there's a big march happening this Friday. You guys need to cover that, the March for Life. ABC News, the New York Times, all the mainstream media outlets fail to cover this, just as they fail to tell the truth about the reality of abortion day in and day out. They are carrying Planned Parenthood's water. They are biased. They show their bias every day by not reporting on these kinds of things. And so I thought I should say, ABC News, are you going to cover this?
Very quickly before we go, you were at the White House reception last night hosted by Vice President Mike Pence.
Right.
What was that like, being in a White House with a pro-life event?
It was swell.
Swanky?
It was terrific. It was swanky. It's extraordinary because, first of all, anybody who has gotten to know Vice President Pence knows that this is a genuinely humble man, incredibly humble, and devoted to the issue of life in the womb. And so to get that sense of encouragement from his presence, and Kellyanne Conway was there too, it was simply astounding. And I'm telling you, we're going to see a sea change. It's happening.
Thank you so much. Eric Metaxas, If You Can Keep It, best-selling author and Forgotten Promise of American Liberty, also syndicated radio show host.